What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Team Tooke 2 Technique Tuesday in 2022. Try to say that fast 3 times. This is a pretty special one because we're post Abu Dhabi. There were some amazing fights this weekend, so we want to share a couple of techniques that we saw. Obviously, we saw a lot of leg attacks, a lot of heel hooks, body lock passing. Of course, Gordon Ryan's matches were the most discussed. I'm going to show one that you may have missed if you weren't watching all the other matches, and I only saw this specific technique one time, so hopefully you guys can add it to your game. And the technique happened from a leg entanglement on the ground, but I want to show it a way you can do this standing, be a little easier to demonstrate, and then we can look at it on the ground. Okay, so this position is from single leg X, which is sort of the start of a leg entanglement. If I'm not careful, he can twist me, connect his legs, and start to attack my foot. So we're going to look at here, instead of fighting to break the grip, I'm actually going to work to the inside and put a little bit of a block right here, come underneath, connect my hands, elbows together, and finish. That functions a lot like a toe hold. So it's important where I line up. Obviously, if I'm a little too low, he straightens his foot out, my hand gets deflected down. So this happens quickly, almost like 2 hands chopping. One right at the Achilles, one right below the toes. So it's low enough to not fall off, high enough to not have him straighten his foot out. So here and here. Okay, and again, I don't want him to wiggle, so I pull my elbows in, and there's a bit of a crunch happening with my body, not just my arms. The transition happened here where there was some fighting back and forth, and I believe the leg was perhaps fed over to this side. The foot was defended, and during the transition, it happened right here. So again, locking up, catching, and at this point, it happens so fast, it's very difficult for the opponent to move, and we finish like this, okay? Be careful with this one when you train and practice because it comes on very fast. It's a very tight submission, and I think you have a lot of success for it. Make sure you're protecting your legs first, and then look for the opportunity to hit that submission.
All right, so we're gonna follow up with another technique from this past weekend, ADCC. If you guys will watch, I believe it was the first match for Craig Jones. He did a arm lock. So we're gonna look at it from, it's a very specific arm lock, right? So what I've noticed the most here is what he's trying to do is trying to isolate this elbow here and catch it on his arm, right? But his base is too strong, his upper body is strong. So there's a couple of things he's looking to do: move away, put pressure into me, maybe stand up, right? So what I want to do is I was watching this particular hook here to trap that half guard and extend that base. That way my partner is a little bit more stuck. He was using the shin here, one, to not allow him to get lower and sort of keep him away from smashing, right? And this is where he was creating that frame. It was like a little bit of a movement like that. He went a couple of times, tried to catch the arm, and the guy kept pulling the arm out, right? And then eventually came back. And one of the things is like the idea of rolling the arm and catching the elbow here and catching it with my hand. And that's where he was able to generate all that power, stretching the base out, blocking the upper body, and then locking the arm here. Now the guy did step I think Joel Costa, he stepped the leg up, but he had the arm so trapped. As long as you keep the elbow here, get the submission from there. All right. So that's a really neat arm lock. And one of the things that I've noticed is how it was so powerful that he actually dislocated the elbow. So hopefully you guys like it.